you're a Christian.
Yeah.
Tell me about that, because I think it was a reasonably-ish recent thing, right? When you're in Romania.
No, it's 7 years.
Okay.
We're talking a good long while.
So you actual Christian, or would tick it on a box?
No, I'm an actual
Love
Christian.
Jesus.
I'm an actual Christian. Love Jesus. Go to church.
I love that, man. Let me shake your hand for that.
Absolutely.
I respect that.
I wouldn't claim to be something that I wasn't.
Yeah.
You know, I was non-religious for a very long time.
Yeah.
And when I became a Christian, I owned it wholly and fully.
That's fantastic. And previously, I know you and Andrew were atheists. What made you believe in God at all? What made you realise?
Well, I think let me think. It was my experience with life, because I actually started off religious. But you start off religious typically because it was my dad's sisters, mainly my aunts and uncles in America, my grandma who would take me to church and stuff. And I thought that everyone believed in the same religion, because I was living in some state in the United States, the internet didn't exist. And I thought everyone believed in the same religion, everyone knows that God's real, and everyone knows that Jesus died for our sins. And that's just like, every human in the world knows this. And it was moving to England, actually, when I met a guy who was a Sikh, and I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck is this? You know? Oh, you're a Muslim, you're a Sikh, you're a Hindu? What the fuck? Wait, 1 second. So I looked into a bunch of religions, and I used to argue with this kid named, keep in mind, I'm like 9 at this point. I used to argue with this kid about why my religion was true, why his wasn't, blah, blah, blah. We used to go back and forth all day. And I just kind of, one day, realized that I was only religious because my parents had taught me this certain religion, which is the reason most people are religious, to be fair, unless they actually look into their religion. And I fell away from it, and I decided that none of the religions were true. But as I got older and richer and found more time, I'm an avid reader. I read a lot of books. I started reading all the holy books again. I've read basically every one of every major religion that exists. Started reading the Bible again. I started researching Christianity, and I started researching Christian history, and the story of how Christianity spread around the world and how it moved from the Middle East, throughout all of Europe and Northern Africa, etc. And I fell back into Christianity because I understood it. As a kid, I was a Christian because my parents had told me to believe in X, Y, and Z. Never read a Bible. Most Christians have never read a Bible cover to cover. And it's like, yeah, I am this religion. My parents have told me that that's it, which is fine. By all means, take your parents' word on authority. But I think I was too cocky as a young man to just be like, I'm going to believe this because my parents said so. So I went years and years and years just not looking into it. I dismissed it. If I'd done some research earlier, perhaps I would have become a Christian much sooner. But it was when I started looking back into it, I was like, okay. Yeah, there's some truth to this. There's some truth to this. Well, that would be one hell of a coincidence. And then there you go. There you go. I'm a Christian again. Yeah. So. I
love that story. And I think I sensed you probably were when you had the verse in. And I said, what does it say? And you knew the verse.
Yeah.
Because Donald Trump's funny when he says, I love the Bible. No one loves the Bible more than me. What's your favourite verse? Oh, I'm not going to go into that.
Yeah. Well, which one was that short one? Jesus wept. The short one, I can't remember.
Yeah, Jesus
the shortest verse of the Bible.
That's the verse.
Just remember that one. Yeah.
But no, that's great. And I think, talking of the UK, I think we need to come back to God. And I think, I think that if there's a revival in the UK, I think
it's going to be a Christian revival.
And it will solve everything. It will solve everything.